Welcome to Impact Headlines. Debt roundtable to discuss defaulting debt nations. Global business activity shows signs of slowdown. Oil at a 9-month high. A technical meeting of international creditors is to be held this week. The meeting is to discuss and agree on issues surrounding the restructuring of sovereign debt of defaulted nations, focusing on the dangers of its ripple effects. It is claimed that the lack of a standardized template for countries in default results in governments making decisions on handling local debt based on IMF debt sustainability analyses. Impact on Sri Lanka. Such demonstrates the challenges in debt restructuring. Sri Lanka had hoped to wrap up its domestic and external debt reforms by September, but opposition to certain reforms meant negotiations are still ongoing. Meanwhile, an IMF team will be in the country from Thursday to review the progress of the IMF conditions. Global business activity slowed in August due to weak demand, rising prices, and borrowing costs. The Eurozone's services industry contracted, suggesting the bloc could slide into recession. Germany's services sector also declined for the first time this year, while France's shrank more than initially estimated. Britain saw its sharpest slowdown in 7 months, while Asia's services activity expanded at the slowest pace in 8 months. Impact on Sri Lanka. Constrained global growth is not good news for Sri Lanka, and results are already being felt. Sri Lanka's merchandise exports during the first 7 months of the year declined to $6.8 billion, down 10% from last year. However, tourism has seen a resurgence, with arrivals in August up over 26% from last year's full-year arrivals, driving related earnings up significantly to $1.3 billion. Oil prices reached a 9-month high on rising US diesel futures and worries about tight oil supplies. Last week, Saudi Arabia and Russia extended their voluntary supply cuts of a combined 1.3 million barrels per day to the end of the year. According to Edward Moyer, senior market analyst at data and analytics firm Oanda, crude prices continue to trade on supply-side drivers. No one is doubting that OPEC Plus will keep this market tight going into the winter. Impact on Sri Lanka. Rising oil prices come at a bad time for Sri Lanka as it seeks to build its foreign currency reserves. Reserves have improved in recent months but are just over 2 months of imports. In September, the government relaxed purchasing fuel under the QR code system, driving demand higher. And that's a wrap for this week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest developments in Sri Lanka. Until next time, have a great day.